live. Welcome, everyone, to the best sports gambling show on the planet. This is WagerTalk Today. I'm your host, Andy Lang. It is Memorial Day weekend. We're here. Board is absolutely loaded. Baseball, hoops, racing, you name it, we got it. It's one of the best betting weekends of the year, and we're here to help you guys attack it the right way. Listen, we can grill out, we can party, we can still bring in profits all at the same time. So let's make it a weekend to remember. We're always going to start off with Gianni's going to tell us where the sharp money is. Big weekend. And Marco's going to join us. We're going to talk a couple of baseball games, Brewers and Pirates, Dodgers and Mets. And Teddy Covers is going to join us where we get another one of his amazing NBA breakdowns. You know that's one of my favorite. We're going to talk Knicks and the Pacers. And we have the biggest all-around-the-world segment ever. Dan's going to join us and break down some lacrosse player props for the semifinals this weekend. And it's the biggest auto racing day of the year, so I'm going to get you guys ready for that. We also got some baseball. We got tons of free plays coming for you guys. So let's get started. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way you get notified when all of our preview videos get released. But let's start off with Gianni. Gianni, good morning. Huge weekend, man. There's just got to be a lot of action coming in. What are you seeing this morning?
Yeah, and a ton of volume, multiple markets coming off an amazing night where we hit WNBA, Major League Baseball, hit the NBA game. I think I went like 10-2 overall. So it's just clicking right now. So let me share some information with you guys real quickly. UFL, I had a package up. I just took it down. I had a 4% up on Birmingham at +1.5. But I believe they're -2.5 now. So it's on you what your risk tolerance is. But I gave that out to subscribers at +1.5 yesterday. And like I said, it's up to -1.5 right now. I also released 4 UFL to subscribers for Saturday, and I think one Sunday game where they're all on Saturday. I'll give you one right now. We bet Arlington -4, 4.5, and 5. So that's Arlington -4, 4.5, and 5. WNBA play I'll share with you guys for tonight. We took Washington plus the 14.5, plus the 15 and 14.5 over Las Vegas. That number is still readily available. It opened a little bit lower at some shops, got bet up overnight, and we pounced on it then earlier this morning. Real quickly, in NHL playoffs, Edmonton, Dallas up 1-0. Steam on Edmonton +110. Wise guys think this game's a coin flip. Historically, the team that won game 1, like Dallas was able to do at home, they win game 2 in this round 62% of the time. But more importantly, the bigger sample size of all the NHL playoff rounds, exact same 62%. The team does go up, 2-0, 6 out of 10 times. But wise guys don't think that'll be the case. Took the plus money on Edmonton in the NHL. Good two-way action on the side. From the betting public. That's why we're not seeing real movement on the line. 6.5 pretty much everywhere. Did open 5.5. Obviously took a little bit of New York money, but I'm sure not many got down at that number. Since it's been 6.5, haven't seen any sharp accounts betting it. But we do have a difference of opinion on the total with the betting public going over 224.5, 225. Wise guys went under as soon as this total opened. So we had the over in game 1. Sharps come back and bet the under in game 2. I think we lost both. Wasn't that the side? We lost both. We had Indiana and the Knicks and under, I think, in that first game. It went Indiana and over. So Sharps coming back with the under again after losing in game 1 there. Historically, Indiana, a team up 1-0 in this round, believe it or not, they only lose game 2 about 40% of the time. So it's not like where a team in the Knicks position where they lose game 1, they got their backs against the wall, don't want to go down 2-0, usually come back and easily win. Not in this round for whatever reason, because when you zoom out a little bit and look at all the playoff rounds from the opening round to the finals, a team in the Knicks position does really well in this spot. Historically, a team like Indiana only wins about 25% of the time after winning game 1 in all the rounds. Now, we saw in this last round, probability was bucked. It was about 22, 23%. Remember, those road teams went up 2-0 in both series. That bumped up the historical results a little bit higher than that 22, 23%. Now it's up to like 24, 25%. But still, historically, team like Indiana does not do well in this game too. Again, but for whatever reason, they do a little bit better in this round. And I think that's why you're seeing a little bit more Indiana money than Knicks money, which again is surprising. But public's been betting a lot of dogs in the NBA playoffs, and that continues a little bit, but not much risk. And like I said, the wise guys are going to eliminate any risk on the total, at least early money. Now, later, if the money keeps coming in on the over, obviously the books are going to be hoping that the sharps are right with the under in game 2, unlike game 1, where they scored, 260 plus points in overtime. Real quickly, Major League Baseball, a couple Steam plays, laid the chalk with Atlanta. By chalk, I mean they started betting it at minus 135, didn't stop betting it till about minus 160. So there was a lot of opportunities to scalp along the way. The only time I saw any scalp is when it got up to like 175, 180 at some places. You saw some take back on the dog, which is automatic. You have that kind of scalp, you have to take it. Otherwise, it's just been all Atlanta. 961 over 8, all the way up to minus 130, and then laid minus 110 to go over 8.5. So strong feeling on the over 8.5 on Atlanta, Arizona, St. Louis. Forgive me, that's game 961. I'll give you game 967. Also, nice little dog, Cleveland, plus 125, all the way down to plus 115. And give you a first 5 as well. 1956, Washington, minus 130, 135. First 5 only. So that's some baseball for you. Some NHL, some NBA, some WNBA, and some UFL as well. Busy couple days ahead. I love it. Love it.
It's great, isn't it? Listen, you're coming off a winning day. I'm coming off a winning day. There's a quick question about a WNBA prop I want to address real quick. Duffel asked about Kayla Thornton on her made threes, and I want to bring this up because this was a client play. I played her under the other night, and it lost. And I watched the game. She shot 8 threes. She only made 2 of them. The volume is there. She shot 6 in the first game, 8 in the second. You can't play the under because of the volume on those shots. I thought it was going to be a rinse and repeat type of prop. Not the case. You can't play unders when they're shooting 7 threes. So it's going to be a stay away from that one. If anything, I'm taking the over, but it's minus 154. Prices me out of the market. So stay away from Kayla Thornton. The volume's there. You can't play the unders regardless of the terrible shooting percentage.
Dude, I'm loving those WNBA props. They're hard to find.
Amazing? Aren't they amazing?
4 of them last night, all 4 won. Gave them the subscribers. Every one of them won. Other than Angel Reese, I didn't even know who they were talking about. Like I had to hunt down I had to Google the name just to see what team it was so I could pull up that matchup, to be honest with you. But yeah, those props, that's where the money is. Like those smaller markets, guys, attack them. Attack them. Like who cares about it being the primetime NBA game 7? Who gives a shit? Like it's going to pay you the same amount. You bet 100 on that or 100 on the WNBA prop, you're going to win the same amount at minus 110. It really doesn't matter which minus 110 you're betting. Like again, if they're that easy, and I know you've been destroying those props, and yeah, I get excited when I see any props come in. Nothing so far, but anytime I see props in the accounts, I hunt them down to bet them. Again, not as easy to get money down, but if you can, it's definitely plus CV situations for sure.
So Gianni, I look at the leaderboard every day. I see your number 1 last 3 days, number 1 last 7 days. And this is one of the reasons why I went to flat betting is the mentality and just the mentality of not having too many ups and too many downs. When you lose, it's the same mentality as when you have a big day. Listen, we all get excited when we win, and we all get a little frustrated when we lose. But talk to us about the mentality. These syndicates, they have a losing day. It doesn't matter. They're looking at 30 days, a year. And I see some comments of, oh, Andy, your free play lost. And I was like, well, don't get too worked up about it. We'll move on to the next one. We went 4-0 on our free plays on this very show. And the day before, we went 1-3. The mentality is the same. We're looking at 7 days, 30 days. So just talk to us about the mentality of you get a good system, the results will just be there in the end.
It all comes down to volume, meaning the more volume you're willing to fire, the more volatility you're going to have. you're going to have bigger swings. It's kind of like I compare it to double-deck blackjack and six-deck blackjack. To beat double-deck blackjack, you got to be able to bet from 1x to 10x. To beat six-deck, you got to be able to bet from 1x to 20x. When you're betting 1x to 20x, you're going to have some huge swings you're going to have to deal with. That just comes with it. But also the opportunity for more money. Now, with sports betting, it's kind of the same. Like if you're going to be betting more volume, and a perfect example, I bet 12 bets yesterday, and that sounds like crazy volume to someone that's looking to bet 1 or 2 or 3 plays. But you got to keep in mind, I bet multiple markets. I bet WNBA. I bet the NBA. We bet the NHL. We had the Major League Baseball. Like those are 4 different markets. So if I only give 3 plays in each, there you go. There's your 12 plays. And I'm built to be able to handle that because I've done it for so long. And I saw that was how the betting syndicates that I saw actually beating the books were doing it from when I first broke in. Like those guys that were like narrowed down that big best bet, and they're selling their games of the year. And back then it was those touts with their 900 numbers and how they're 22-0 in this spot, and they have one more big play tonight going. Like I learned going in that was just bullshit. You're never going to have that big of an edge in any one game that you could just narrow down that one game. So the way they look at it is, I'm going to take advantage of every edge I have. Like I taught the guys at blackjack, when the count's positive, and that means we have the edge, you have to bet. With that said, in theory, you would say, let me just shove. If I have the edge, then I should be shoving, just go all in. With that mentality, though, you're going to go broke, because in the short term, there's going to be that randomness of a small sample size. But in the long term, the bigger set of bets, you should be profitable if you actually placed plus EV bets, if you were betting when you had the edge. That's the thing that it also translates to sports. You can't look at your results in a vacuum, in a small sample, because you're never going to be as bad as you look when you're running cold or as good as you look when you're running hot. What you need to do is zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. That's the best quote. That's going to tell you the true story. So I that's where I always try to find comfort in zooming out and seeing how am I doing over the bigger picture. Because over the small sample size, you're going to have hot streaks, you're going to have cold streaks. And the amount of variance is going to come down to your volume. Like if you're betting low volume, you're not going to have huge swings, but you're also not going to make big scores because you can't bet too much. If you're over betting your edge, we talked about risk of ruin. That's the negative of low volume. Most low volume guys over bet their edge, and that's why they go broke. It's not because they don't have an edge or they're not finding plus EV spots. It's that their risk of ruin is too high because they're thinking, hey, I'm only placing 3 bets. I have a $5,000 bankroll. What am I going to bet? $50 on each one? That's ridiculous. I'm going to bet 100, 200 on each one. Well, now your risk of ruin is so high. That's the key that you have to decide early on whether I'm going to be a higher volume guy or a lower volume guy. And if you're a lower volume guy, it's even more important that you stick to a low risk of ruin. Like if you're high volume, you don't have a choice. You have to bet small in relation to bankroll, or you're not going to be able to bet everything that you want to bet. Like for me, it was a lot easier doing it that way. And that made the transition to actually keeping a low risk of ruin a lot easier. If you keep your risk of ruin low, you're going to be able to withstand any negative run. If you have your risk of ruin high, your mathematical certainty to go broke. I can't explain it any simpler than that. The way you overcome bad stretches is keeping your risk of ruin low. You're never going to lose sleep. You're not going to sweat any game because you're bet sizing correctly. You'll be able to overcome them. But when you're over betting your edge, when your risk of ruin's high, you're sweating every night. You're sweating every result.
It's a terrible feeling.
It's awful. It's awful.
It's a terrible feeling.
And the betting syndicates are great at that, bro. They don't even bet. Like I got one of the guys like I had on my podcast that's actually like at the highest level of betting syndicate, like bankrolls betting syndicates. And talking to him, do you know how low their bet size is in relation to their bankroll? The idea of them betting 1% of bankroll, they laugh at like that. These are the guys that don't have a Twitter. They don't have an Instagram. Like they're not out there showing what they're doing or teaching what they're doing. The idea of them even betting 1% of their bankroll on a play is absolutely ridiculous. Like, they can't even comprehend that. Like, what are you doing? Like, they're betting maybe 0.25, maybe 0.5% of their bankroll. And that's why they're able to fire, bro. They're able to overcome any negative run, and they're able to profit long-term doing it. But again, for the recreational bettor, even the guy that takes it more serious, it's so hard to have a low risk of ruin because we don't have the patience to win long-term. We want it now. We want that satisfaction right now. We want to get rich. Again, you could have it all. You just can't have it all today. That's what I was taught. So if you want it all, you have to have the right roadmap. And I'm telling you guys, I know everyone wants the free plays. Everyone wants best bets, but nothing is more important than bet sizing correctly, because all the free bets in the world, all the locks in the world aren't going to help you if you overbet your edge. You'll go broke just as the guy that can't even hit 50%. You're both going to have the exact same outcome. The only difference is the amount of time it takes before the bookie's holding the money. Because if anybody, I told you, I went broke multiple times with the best information on the planet because I didn't know how to manage my risk. Please, if you learn anything about sports betting or investing, learn that first. Build that discipline to bet real small in relation to your bankroll. Nothing more important.
And I know we keep harping on some of the same things, but it's too important to not talk about time and time again. I tell people all the time, I started making the most money when I started lowering my unit size and lowering how much I bet. It's so counterintuitive, but that's how it works. You lower your bet size and you have the advantage, and you're gonna be profitable long term.
Block, you're doing it perfect. Block says I got a 10K bankroll. I bet $50 a game, 75 to 100 on his best bets. Bro, do that. Do that. When you get to 15,000, or even better, if you have the kind of patience, when you get to 20,000, whether it's from winning or whether from work, you're able to, put more money into your bankroll. When you get to 20,000, readjust. When you get to 30, readjust. Use the beautiful compounding interest that a lot of investors do to make a lot of money long term. But again, you need time, man. It's not timing the market, it's time in the market. The amount of time you're going to be betting for. Again, if you're only betting one bet, don't care about closing line value, don't care shit about bet sizing, none of that matters. The only thing that matters is winning that bet. But if you're going to be betting over and over and over again, these are the things you have to master. Like, those are the demons every morning I have to brush off my shoulders to make sure. Dude, there's times yesterday, like, where I loved Oklahoma City. I loved Oklahoma City. I loved it. I even, on my crypto.com, I even put some of my crypto at risk because I liked Oklahoma City to win that game at least straight up. And I thought that the money line value was just and then ended up winning. So I should be pissed at myself that I didn't go crazy. But had I gone crazy, even if I won, doing that again makes me a mathematical certainty to go broke. It's those habits that we form when things go good in a mistake. Like, again, if you're over betting your edge and you win tonight, your destiny's still going to be the same because you're not going to stop. So you just got to cover that hole up. Whatever happened in the past, wake up in the morning and do it the right way, bro. Do it the right way. I promise you. So many of you guys are sharp. You're not up at 9 in the morning for nothing. You're not watching this for nothing. You already know what to do. Do it. You owe it to yourself to do it the right way. I'm sorry. I'm going long. Forgive me for that. But nothing is more important, bro. I watched too many sharp guys, too many men that are capable of betting sports for a living or as an investment vehicle lose their bankrolls because of that one little mistake. They had the information. They were excellent handicappers. They could beat the market. They got CLV. They did everything right except their bet sizing. And that led to their, ruin. That's why it's called risk of ruin.
Yes. So Gianni, listen, we got more content like this. You're doing Steam Room. We're doing our first ever syndicate session Sunday.
Good for you, bro. You get to talk to your guys one-on-one. They get to ask those questions that they have.
I'm so excited.
You're gonna benefit, and they're gonna benefit from it. That's the best idea you've had to do that.
Well, we're piggybacking from you because we've seen the success that you have, and we need to do more one-on-ones with people. We need to be live with our clients, our all access clients. So tell everyone about Steam Room real quick, and tell everyone what you have up for clients today.
Yep.
Fantastic week.
10 a.m. Pacific. So that's 1 p.m. Eastern. In about 40 minutes, the Steam Room goes live. That's where I'm going to give out all the baseball that I have. Hopefully some college baseball comes in while we're doing that. We're going to go over today's board, all today's bets. But more importantly, we're going to go over month-to-date results, 2025-to-date results. We're going to remind each other on what we're bet sizing, how we bet size. And I'm there to answer all the questions that everyone has. And again, so far, so good. Now in the top 5 in the profit. And just looking to keep it going. So join the Steam Room today. We're going to cover a lot and prep for Tuesday, which will be the last blackjack class. I said I had to take the UFL package down because the line moved too much, but baseball will be up. Playoffs will be up. Give me about 30 minutes. All that will be up and available at WagerTalk. And make sure the free plays were there. I think yesterday I might have gave out one of those props, those WNBA props. So I will give a premium play every day on my free page. Make sure you check it out every day.
All right, Gianni The Greek. Guys, hit the like button. What a week of segments from Gianni. Brought the thunder, man. Appreciate that. All right, so we got Gianni's Steam Room. Syndicate session Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Myself, Jim, Corbin, Jan. I'm going to try and sweet talk Dan into joining us. We're going to go over our betting strategies. We're going to talk about unit size. We're going to talk about what's been working this year, what hasn't been working, and where we're going to be moving forward with some of the props and the things. I will tell you, team totals is on our radar. We've been experimenting with them this week, and they've been hitting. We hit a couple of MLB team totals, so we're looking at WNBA, NBA, all those. So 5 o'clock, we've been up 90 units in 2023, 127 units last year, and we're already up 74 units this year. So these are the plays that we bet with our money. This is how we build our own bankroll. So make sure you guys join us Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern. Of course, the replay is going to be up, but if you join us live, you can ask all those questions, pick our brains. Anything betting wise is on the table. It's how we get better as a team. So, Dan, let's go all around the world here. This is going to be the biggest all around the world, maybe of the year. So here we go. By the way, 4-0 yesterday. Great job from everybody. I gave out a couple winners. Ralph gave out a winner. I believe Ross gave out a winner. So let's go to the WagerTalk free picks page. We got Pacers +6. This is from Dwayne Bryant. Game 2 home favorites off of a Game 1 loss are 6-5 straight up and 3-8 ATS. So he's warning us about the zigzag theory. Don't just blindly bet the zigzag theory. Ralph is 2-1 on no run first inning plays on this show. I'm going to give out another one, but if you've cashed on those, don't play it. Take your profits and run. Rangers, White Sox, no run first inning. Texas 4-0 run on no run first innings. They have not scored a first inning run in 7 games. White Sox, no runs in the first inning their last 4 games. Biggest day of the auto racing year. Every year I do this because we have the Indy 500, we have the Formula 1 race at Monaco and the NASCAR race. I give out a play in each one. Let's do it. Takuma Sato -130 over Rosenqvist. Sato qualified second, half second average faster. I know you can't take a ton away from qualifying. I think Sato is going to be there at the end. Formula 1, here's a prop. Winning margin less than 6 seconds. This is Monaco. It's going to be a chaotic race because they're making them do 2 pit stops instead of 1. These cars are follow the leader at Monaco. You cannot pass. It's going to be a pack. Take winning margin less than 6 seconds. NASCAR, Alex Bowman, top 10. Top 10 finishes at Phoenix, Las Vegas, Miami, and Kansas. Those are all big ovals. This is a 600-mile race at Charlotte. He finished in the top 10 at this race last year. So those are auto racing bets. Now let's bring in Dan. We have a huge weekend in lacrosse. We have a 4% best bet that is up. Dan, you're up. Do you know you're up 43 units since you started posting plays at WagerTalk?
Not bad. We're happy.
These are the sports guys. These are the sports guys that we bring to you. Dan is part of the Winning in the Shadows syndicate. You're an all-access client. You get these plays. Dan, give us some player props in lacrosse.
Yeah, I mean, I'm literally wearing lacrosse on my hat, Andy. So it would be bad if I wasn't actually, putting the money where the mouth is, so to speak. There. But yeah, we even have people in the chat like here, Ryan Turk. Do you guys have lacrosse wagers for this weekend? So, folks, people are asking about them. It's not just Andy and I shoehorning them in. We got Marco and Teddy still to come here. So I'll just be real quick with this, man. Semifinals this weekend. The play that I submitted, obviously with you, with clients, absolutely love that play. We deemed it good enough to be up there with a 4%. We're typically looking at like 2% and 3% plays. So this is one that I like quite a bit. You can check out over at Andy's page. The one we'll give out for free though here, man. We're going to player props. This one available at a couple different of the bigger books, so to speak. And we're looking at the Lacrosse. We got Syracuse taking on Maryland here. Guys, I mean, Maryland has absolutely owned Syracuse. 7 straight losses for Syracuse against this Maryland Terps team. Most recently, 11-7 loss earlier this year. But just because they own them, just because they're under machines, doesn't mean there's still some value to be had in the prop market. And that's why we're looking at Owen Hiltz. Owen Hiltz of Syracuse to go over 4.5 shots on goal. I won't belabor the point. It's simple. He's gone over this half of the games that they've played this year. Oh, that's not really a high percentage. Yeah, well, when he plays against top flight competition, that's where you see his shots absolutely jump up. When he's playing against top 10 teams, he's typically looking at 8 or more shots. If they want to hang around with Maryland, the team that absolutely owns them, Owen Hiltz, their stud attackman, has to be involved. And honestly, Andy, this number should be like 5.5, right? So when you're looking at props, you're looking for edges. And sometimes it's a half point. When you're getting a full point, that's where it starts elevating to, this should probably be a play for me. Then it's, well, you're betting props. Is it minus 135? Is it minus 145? Does the juice kill you? No, we're getting a point of value, in my opinion, and it's only minus 110.
So
minus
don't play it at
110
when it moves.
5.5. I if you're gonna play it, it has to be plus money, right? It has to be plus money if you're playing it at 5.5. But 4.5, full point of value, only laying the customary 110 on a prop. I think that's great. Look for Owen Hiltz to go over his shots on goal. There you go, Andy. There's the free lacrosse bet. But the one we got loaded on the play, man, absolutely love that one. Love that.
Absolutely. One. Nobody does it better in lacrosse, Dan. Thank you so much, brother. All right, guys, hit the like button. We're moving forward here. What do I have up at Wager Talk? Full disclosure, I went 2-1 yesterday. Sadly, the one play I lost was the NBA play that I told everyone to grab. It wasn't even close. I felt terrible about it. So tonight's NBA play, I gave to the people that got yesterday's play. We hit our golf play. We hit our hockey play very easily. So looking to get back on track in NBA. 5-1 run, NBA number 1 in NBA props. I'm not worried about one loss. We still have our tennis pack that's up, discounted down to $49. Plays are going to start coming out probably tomorrow. And they're going to come out in bunches for the first round once Corbin gets the lines and sees what the matchups are and everything and does all of his research. So, Scott, I know that you asked about, like, I bet a little bit more. Yeah, me personally, I'm a flat better. I bet 1% more on tennis plays because they're just so consistent. 176 units since we've been doing tennis plays at Wager Talk. So, yeah, grab that. It's only $49 and plays are going to start coming out. It's a big source of building our bankroll. Again, plays we bet with our own money. Let's bring in Marco D'Angelo. And Marco, we're going to talk a couple of baseball games. We got Brewers and Pirates. We got Dodgers and Mets. And you're speaking my language. A team total. I love this for the Brewers and the Pirates. First off, how are you doing, my friend?
Doing good. And actually, I wish I was in Pittsburgh tonight to witness this. It's going to be a good game at PNC Park as far as the pitchers go. The rest of the game, I don't know about that. And you'll see when we get to the team total what I'm talking about. But, you got Freddie Peralta going for Milwaukee, and he squares off against Paul Skeens, an absolute phenom for the Pittsburgh Pirates until that rookie contract is over and he becomes a Dodger or a Yankee. But that's another story for another day, is the life of a Pittsburgh Pirate fan. You're going to see Skeens in his last start. He was back to his dominant self. And what I'm talking about is he went 8 innings and he allowed just 1 run. More importantly, and this is the dominant part, he had 9 strikeouts to just 1 walk. If you go back to the 3 starts before that, he had some control issues. You always know that Skeens is going to be, out there mowing them down, but he had walked 11 batters over 17 innings in those 3 previous starts. So he's back. I expect another good game from him. Freddie Peralta, you look at him, he's been razor sharp all year. He's had 10 starts, 9 of the 10 starts, he's held the opponents to 3 runs or less. Why am I making a big deal about that 3 runs or less? Well, you got the Pittsburgh Pirates who have struggled to score runs all year. And so many times Skeens goes out there and throws a good game and gets no run support. And people always say that, oh, hard luck pitcher, he's so good and he doesn't get run support. What happens so often is that when the other team is squaring off against the team's ace, that pitcher gets pumped up too, okay? And Skeens being, the phenom that he is, Freddie Peralta is going to come to the mound tonight in the right mindset, and he's going to want to go toe-to-toe with Skeens. So with that said, the way he's pitched all year, the way the Pirates have struggled offensively all year, there's only one way for me to go. The team total on the Pirates tonight is 3.5 runs. I'm going under. And I'm hoping to see a classic pitcher's duel. And in a perfect world for me as a Pirate fan, 1-0 Pittsburgh. We'll take that win. But we're going to go under 3.5 runs for the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight as play number 1.
Marco, the first Major League Baseball game I ever went to, my uncle took me to one in St. Louis. It was the middle of summer. It was 100 degrees, and the home team lost 1-0. There was a home run in the first inning and no runs. And I was like, this is stupid. This sport is awful. That was my introduction. So, but today, yes, we're rooting for a 1-0 Pittsburgh Pirates win. Let's go gambling gods. Give Marco what he deserves. Let's go to the Dodgers and the Mets. Dodgers started off like banshees, kind of cooled off now, but it's baseball. How do you break down the Dodgers and the Mets?
Yeah, the Dodgers. And I can tell you, any bookmaker that I've done shows with this week, and I asked them, they're usually crying whenever it comes to talking about the Dodgers winning and covering the run line. Man, they were happy last weekend when they got swept by the Angels. They made back all that money from the bettors. But now the Dodgers head out to East Coast road trip. And after losing those 4 games in a row to the Angels, they've now won 2 in a row. So I think you're going to see the Dodgers have a successful road trip. But I have concerns tonight. They are going to be facing a Mets team that's returning home off of a 6-game road trip. I generally don't like teams when they return home for that first game of the homestand, but this is going against the Dodgers. They're not going to be flat or distracted. Plus, they had yesterday off. They are going to be facing Clayton Kershaw, who made his first start over the weekend. This is a guy that, he's been around forever. He's been great. But, yeah, Father Time is catching up to Kershaw. And that first start was not good. He was hit for 5 runs in 4 innings. The bigger concern for me is that he just wasn't dominant in that in any of the facets. And the fact that he had to go 83 pitches over just 4 innings is a bit of a concern. So what I'm going to look here, I do expect him to be better in his second start of the season, but he's got a long way to go to catch up to who he's going to be facing tonight. Griffin Channing for the Mets has been solid all year. He's allowed 2 runs or less in 8 of his 9 starts this year. And at this point of the season, him being in midseason form, Kershaw trying to catch up after starting the season on the DL. There's only one way I can look at this game, and that is to look at a first 5-inning wager. I don't want to have the bullpens involved in here. I don't want any late-inning heroics out of the Dodgers to beat me. I'll go ahead and take the Mets in this one. First 5-inning wager. I think we're getting value on the Mets with this pitching matchup because, even though the Mets have been playing well this year, it's the Dodgers that they're playing. So there's a built-in bias to the line with the Dodgers. And even though Kershaw's at the backside of the career, it's still the name. He still gets some respect from the bookmakers to the casual bettor. So I think the value in this game is to take the Mets first 5 innings, take the bullpens out of it, enjoy the first 5 innings. Let's cash the ticket, and then whatever happens the rest of the way, we don't care.
Love it, Marco. Love it, Marco. Talk to us about the summer celebration, under $5 a day. Listen, you want to take advantage of a handicapper for 30 days? Fine. We're going to give you 3 months at a discount. Tell everyone about this promo.
Yeah, guys, what's so good about, first of all, you're going to save money. All right. As you said, it's under $5 a day, gets you everything we release through Labor Day. That's going to be all the sports. It's also going to be, I'll be doing WNBA as well. Last year we had a fantastic WNBA season in my first year of doing the WNBA. And why in the world am I doing the WNBA? Well, if you had asked me 10 years ago, hey, Marco, you're going to be handicapping the WNBA, I would have laughed at you. But because I do a radio show here in Las Vegas 2 days a week, and the guy that does the show, the host of the show, his show, TC Martin, he is the voice of the Las Vegas Aces. So we talk a lot of Aces on every radio show, and I have become a season ticket holder. So you know what? If I'm going to go to the games, I'm going to watch these games, and I'm going to talk and break them down. We're going to make money with it. And we did last year, a very successful season. You get that included as well in special plays, the horse races that comes up. Get everything. That's the way to go. Lock you in all the way to Labor Day for just $579. You can check that out on my homepage. I will have a package up today. It'll be a combination of everything today, baseball and basketball. I will have a play on the NBA game. We did cash that crazy game number 1 between the Knicks and Pacers. Fortunately for me, I didn't have to sweat any of that. We had the over in the first game. So that was about as easy as they come. I enjoyed watching that game and being at the sports book when that went on. Andy, I know you're, there in Indiana, and I can imagine how fantastic that was for the Indiana fans there. The sports book just absolutely went bonkers when they hit that 3 to tie the game at the end of regulation here in Vegas.
All right, Marco, I'm going to ask you, and I want to ask Teddy. What was crazier, the Reggie Miller Spike Lee game or the game the other night? Because I know you watched both of them. So did I. What's your vote?
You know what? I always have a tendency to go old school. And the reason why I'm going to go old school is because old school Knicks and Pacers back then, they were 2 elite teams that were doing battle. And it wasn't the NBA market that we are now where, everybody shoots threes like they're down in tic tacs. Okay. So the frequency of scoring is a lot quicker in today's NBA. I think that, if you want to call it comeback or Knicks choke, whichever one, I'm going to say was more impressive from back in the day. But you're just still, neither one are you supposed to lose that. And when you've got a lead, guys, you don't have to go down and be shucking up 3-pointers. You know what? Work a little bit of clock, my God, and come up with a high percentage play.
I think it's the Reggie Miller Spike Lee game. We've never seen scoring like that. And have you ever seen a celebrity front row get involved in a game? It was part of a 30-30 for 30. We had never seen anything like it. As amazing as last game was, I have the Reggie Miller game. But I will just say this. As an Indiana Pacers fan, it is so much fun to even just be involved in a rivalry with crazy games like this. Like, you look back and there was games we lost, but it's so much fun, and the rivalry continues. Marco, D'Angelo, everybody, thank you so much, brother. Have a great weekend.
Good luck. Have a good holiday, everybody.
Just real quick, I want to address something in the chat. Someone is saying something about lying in our ad copy. Guys, we get suspended if we lie. If we have something that's incorrect in our promos, there's no questions asked. You're suspended. It's a serious thing. There's big time sins that you can make in this injury. Plagiarism is one of them. Stealing plays is another one. Lying is one of the biggest no-nos. So if we have something that's wrong in a promo, we have people that audit them. And if it's a blatant lie, we get suspended. So there is no lying. We'll talk about our wins and losses on the show. We're not going to be perfect, but as far as outright lying, we don't do that. And if we do that, there are punishments for that. So it's happened, and it doesn't happen twice. So I can only think of one time where somebody messed up something in a promo. It was an honest mistake. Didn't matter. They got suspended. So if there's something wrong, let us know. We'll fix it. But our integrity means a lot to us. We try and talk about wins and losses. And like I said, we just keep plugging away and we keep getting better. We're not going to be perfect all the time, but we're going to do our best for you guys. So just wanted to address that. All right, let's bring in Teddy Covers. Teddy, you heard my question to Marco. Posed the same one. What's the crazier game?
So for the comeback the other night, I think was crazier. Absolutely.
Okay.
Because the Reggie Miller game was 10 seconds of madness. And and when you have, what is it, 1,400 and 0, or teams that were up 9 points in the final minute, it was a longer comeback. It required more shots than, so I would make that of the two. But it was interesting to talk about the line because I was like, I'm number one at WagerTalk and MLB since the beginning of April, and I'm number two at WagerTalk and NBA since the start of the playoffs. And then I checked this morning. I'm like, oh, I didn't count. I lost last night. I'm like, I'm not number one. I better change that. I'm number two at WagerTalk now in MLB since the end of March, and number two at WagerTalk in the NBA since the middle of April. So we take that stuff real seriously. It's important to be accurate.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And as I said, we'll make mistakes, but we fix them. But we're just not going to blatantly say like, oh, I'm up 100 units. Like, no, you're down 20. So yeah, we don't do that. Those days are long, long gone. So it's a constant battle. But let's talk about the Knicks and the Pacers here. I don't know what the mentality of either one of these teams is going to be going into this game. Must win for Knicks? I don't know. Give us your thoughts on this. I love a good Teddy Covers NBA breakdown.
Let's break it down. Now, first, I bet the Reggie Miller game. In fact, at the time, it was the single biggest bet of my life, and I had the Knicks. I'll talk about that in a minute. Second, when we're breaking down game one, every analyst got it wrong. I was amazed. I could not believe how many different talking heads missed the two most important things that happened in the final minute of regulation and the final minute of overtime between the Knicks and the Pacers. Everybody got it wrong. How did Indiana do it? Miracle? Impossible? It's like nobody actually watches basketball. I watch it every friggin' night. What happened? A dude got hot. That's what happened. You see that in the NBA. Or college sometimes. A guy gets hot, like Aaron Nesmith did with 3 straight triples. But the biggest thing in the final minute, in the final seconds, was Coach Tibbs' decision to intentionally foul up 3. That failed. I'm no fan of the strategy. It's bad for basketball, and I was glad to see it fail. And nobody talked about it. They intentionally fouled up 3. Guess what? Didn't work. That's one of the many reasons why you don't do it. The biggest play of the game, however, came in overtime, not in regulation, obviously. Regulation when with the crazy bounce and it dropped in. And it was a rock fight in OT, back and forth. Knicks up 4, Pacers up 1, Knicks up 1. Now there's less than a minute left. Knicks are up 1, less than a minute left. Halliburton missed the 3. Knicks can control clock. They can go up 2 possessions with a bucket. Instead, Mitchell Robinson sat there and watched the ball, and Obi Toppin came in and freaking slammed it. The biggest play of the game. Now, I know the Knicks scored after that, but that play changed the complete trajectory of the final minute. So it was the intentional foul, and it was Mitchell Robinson not boxing out. Nobody talked about either one. Okay. So, in my opinion, that's what went down. Now, everyone's calling game one, obviously, the Reggie Miller game. Like I said, biggest bet of my life at the time. And here's the beauty of it. True story. I watched it go down sitting on the couch while I was mocking my bookie buddy sitting right next to me. And to this day, Reggie Miller is his favorite NBA player of all time. That being said, true story, 1995 Ann Arbor. I was there and I bet it. Now, what the F do we do with game 2? Looking at the odds logic live odds screen right now, this line's bounced around this morning. It was as high as 7 at some books this morning. It was low as 5.5. I'm seeing 6 right now. We're seeing under money coming in, 224.5, the current prevailing total. And by the way, get a free 7-day trial, oddslogic.com/Teddy. Check out our live odds product. It's free. And I think once you start using it, you'll like it. Again, oddslogic.com/Teddy. Of course, we appreciate those likes, those comments, those follows very, very much. We talk about the pace. And the Knicks ran with Indiana in game 1. Pace was fast. Both teams hit 51% from the floor. Good shooting. They combined for 49 made free throws. Lots of free throw attempts, lots of fouls. They combined for 26 threes. They combined for 112 points in the paint. Hard to imagine we're going to see anything better than that all series. Maybe there might be a raining threes game, but 49 made free throws is a lot. 112 paint points is a lot. Both teams hitting 51% of the floor is hard, and both these teams play defense. So we're supposed to lean under, right? I'm not leaning under here. Why? Because the Knicks were successful running with Indiana. They're up 17 in the fourth quarter. They're up 14 with under 3 to play. They're up 9 in the final minute. They're going to look at film and say, hey, that worked. And of course, the Pacers are going to push pace. It's what they do. Lean here is going against the money. I like the over in this game. When it comes to the side, well, before I talk about the side, let me promote for just a minute. 30-day all access right now, $1.99. You take $100 off. Just use promo code Teddy199 at checkout. Again, Teddy199 at checkout. Get you $100 off, 30-day all access. That's every play, every day, baseball and basketball. You get through the end of the finals. And of course, that summer celebration special is a great deal. Memorial Day through Labor Day, $579. Obviously, if you buy it today, you'll get all the plays through Memorial Day absolutely free. So 2 great deals right now. 1 month for $199, promo code Teddy199, and that summer celebration special, which gets you everything through Labor Day. We talk about the side here, and again, the Reggie Miller game, Indiana stole game 1 at MSG. In game 2 of that series, and by the way, I doubled or nothing again with my bookie. The Knicks won by 19 and covered wire to wire in that contest. This Pacers team isn't that Pacers team, though. Indiana on the highway since losing game 3 at Milwaukee, 5-0 straight up. 5-0 against the spread, +4, +8.5, +6, +8.5, +4.5, all straight up wins. The Knicks at MSG this postseason, 3-4 straight up, 5 tries as home favorites, 2-3 ATS. Knicks off a loss in the playoffs. They beat Detroit by 2. They beat Detroit by 3. They beat Boston by 8, but that was the game where Tatum got hurt. The Celtics were alive. That was a 1-point game with 5 to play, and then Tatum got hurt, and it changed the trajectory. And they blew out the Celtics in game 6 when Boston had nothing left. But really, 3 of the 4 games off a loss for the Knicks this postseason have been highly competitive. Can't lay with the Knicks here. Indy and over. One of those 2 was the client play. You got it here for free.
Teddy covers. Love that. Just quick thoughts on what you're seeing in OKC, Minnesota. Is Minnesota just completely outgunned in this series, or is it just a couple of road games went wrong for them?
So I've had a great postseason. I have no complaints about the postseason. I'm frustrated with myself because I had an early read. I'm going to bet on OKC. And I had them in one of the 50-point wins, and I didn't ride it. And then I flip-flopped, and then I got on Minnesota, and then I was on Minnesota. I'm like, all right, well, I had Minnesota in game 1. They're going to play better in game 2, and they did, with the exception of a 5-minute stretch of the third quarter again. So my read on that series is crap. I don't know what I'm going to do game 3. I can only I've lost twice with the T-Wolves already. I don't know that I come back with them in game 3. I don't know what I'm going to do for game 3. There's a good chance I'm going to pass that contest.
All right. I love it. Teddy covers. One more time, give everyone that promo code for $100 off.
It's real simple. Teddy199. And we've been running real good, guys. Again, number 2 at WagerTalk Baseball since the end of March. Number 2 at WagerTalk in the NBA since the start of the playoffs, April 18th. Promo code Teddy199 gets you 30-day all access for $199. Takes you $100. And of course, I mean, the some of the runs are real good. 75% playoff run. The baseball's been hot. 78% MLB. I mean, it's really been a really good month for the clients. And I encourage you, get on board right now. Promo code Teddy199 will get you that all access special.
All right, Teddy covers. Always love a great NBA breakdown. Thank you and good luck. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Thanks, everybody. Just a couple things in the chat. If you have any questions about anything, the email is support@wagertalk.com. If you have any questions about anything, they do a fantastic job. So any questions, email them. One more time, NBA pack is up. We have our 1-game special that goes tonight, and anybody that got to play yesterday that lost, I went ahead and attached today's play because the play wasn't even close. It was a bad one. Tennis special is up $49 for all the tennis plays, and we have our 4% lacrosse play that is up. Lacrosse and tennis, these are plays that we use to build our bankroll. We bet a little bit more on our tennis plays, and the 4% lacrosse is going to get a little bit more of my action as well. So let's have a great weekend, guys. Be really safe out there. Have fun. Do it responsibly. live responsibly, bet responsibly. We all want to come back Monday with our bankrolls a little bit bigger than they are today. Have a great weekend, and we'll get after it again Monday. Take care.